Hi guys, in this video I'll be sharing how to use this coil inserter feature on the TruBind machine. Recently on my last TruBind video, someone asked me if there was a trick to using the coil inserter feature. And even though I've been using the machine for over 2 years, I have had a few occasions where I've had issues of my own. But the thing is that with anything, no matter how simple a YouTube video may seem to make it look, there's a learning curve with everything. And you know, there are a few tricks that I've picked up in the last 2 years in using it. So I'm making this video to share that, and hopefully that will help, you know, make the coiling process just a little bit easier. Alright, so the book that I'm working with today has about 76 sheets of paper. I did count the covers twice since I would assume that they're probably about twice as thick as these pages. This is close to regular like copy paper. This size coil is 13 millimeter, and the recommended amount of sheets is 105 sheets. Based on my experience, I have found that using just a bit less than what is recommended works better. You don't want to use too big or too small of a coil. However, I did try using this bigger coil earlier. This is a 22 millimeter, which is recommended for about 190 sheets, and this is way too big. So using the wrong size coil can affect how well the machine is able to insert the coil into the book. Also, a couple things. When you are pressing the book towards this coil inserter on the silver plate, you want to hold the book like as straight as possible, like parallel to this, if that makes sense. You want to hold it as straight up as possible, and when you are putting the coil, you want to insert like a couple coils into the grooves that is on the coil inserter. Hopefully that makes sense. What else? The holes. How your holes are lined up, if it's cut properly and if the holes are lined up properly, that will affect your how well the coil is able to go through as well. Of course, based on the guillotine that you are using, you know, that will determine how straight your book is cut, which will affect how your holes lined up. So anyway, I am trying to make this video with someone in mind who asked a question, so I'm trying to be as detailed as possible, so hopefully that is helpful. So anyway, so I am going to insert these coils through the first like 4 holes or so, and then I'm going to hold my book as parallel as possible. Then I'm going to insert these coils into this groove, right? And then I'm holding it down, not to get your finger too close to this inserter because it hurts. Right? I have had about two instances where, you know, when I wasn't holding it properly or pressing too hard, because you do need to press it towards the inserter inside while these coils, single coils, are resting inside this groove. You do want to press it just a bit, but if you press it too hard, the silver roller can start to, you know, try to eat the coils. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to try to use this. I do anticipate I will have a bit of a problem at the bottom part of the book, only because the holes aren't lined up that well, but I think that would be good to show if that happens. So let's go. And then, well, 2 other tips. I have found that sometimes doing that back and forth motion, like pulling it away and then pushing it back towards the coil inserter, that does help, depending on, you know, all those other factors that I said. If it is the holes are lined up properly, and also the size. That really applies for when you're using the bigger coils with bigger books. What else? When you're using much bigger books, you will find that feeding the coil like back and forth that way, it does help with helping the coil to go through, because you'll be working with a bigger stack of paper. But hopefully that will be, I'll be able to show that in another video. I'm pressing the cover down so that it doesn't the coil doesn't, you know, spin into just the pages and then skip the cover, because I find that that happens quite a bit sometimes. As I said, the bottom part is not punched properly, so I will have to feed it in there, but I think that is good to kind of see some of the issues that you can run into, because nothing in life is perfect and everything has a learning curve. And there you go. All right, so now I'm just going to cut this and crimp it on there. And there you go. And this is what you want, if you know, when you use the right coil, you want it to be able to turn freely. If you use too small of a coil, you end up having some issues with turning your book. All right, guys, well, hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, you know, you can ask them below and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. You know, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in another video. Bye.